Welcome to Hiya. My guest today is a visionary leader that holds many influential positions. In 2008, she became the executive director of American Arab Chamber of Commerce. In the same year, she became the chief operating officer of Tijara Global Business. She is the co-founder of the U.S. Arab Women's Business Council. And she was elected the chairwoman of the East Michigan District Expert Council, approved by the U.S. Secretary of Congress. She has recently appointed by Governor Whitmer to the Michigan Economic Development Corporation Executive Committee. She's also a second vice chair of the Michigan Democratic Party, and she also works with Republicans. And we all love a woman who supports other women. I know I do. My guest is a firm believer in empowering, specifically mentoring professional Arab American women for 20 years. She is incredibly influential, but don't take my word for it. Crain's Detroit Business Magazine named her one of the 100 most influential women in Michigan. Amongst her numerous awards, she was awarded the Michigan Women's Foundation's Top 25 Women Making a Difference and Corpse Magazine 2011 Diversity Leader Award. I'd like to welcome Fay Baydoun, the Executive Director of American Arab Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you very much, Hanan. It's an honor to be here with you tonight.
You are my first guest on Hiya, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. I hope I will live up to your expectations, and I'm honored to be your first guest.
Thank you, thank you. Well, from your introduction alone, you know, like we know that you do so much. So what is the day in the life of Fay Baydoun look like?
Very busy, very busy. My days, the reason I enjoy my work so much is there are never 2 days that are the same.
Okay.
I can have a day to where I'll spend the majority of the day in the office doing a lot of busy work, but then I'll have days to where I will be attending meetings and board meetings and so forth. I could be talking with corporations. I could be meeting with political elected officials. My days would involve possibly meeting with people in Lansing or in Washington, D.C., or possibly even having conversations with other chambers and other government entities overseas.
So you have obviously a lot on your plate. How do you manage your time? How do you prioritize your time?
You have to be very organized, and you have to have good staff.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed with that.
Yes, yes, yes. We're going to talk about your leadership, leading such a large organization like the AACC. And for the people that might not know, it's the largest Arab American business organization in the United States.
Right. So the American Arab Chamber of Commerce is the largest American business organization in the United States. Mm-hmm. We have approximately 1,500 members. Our membership is 65% of that membership is mm-hmm. from Southeast Michigan. So that's not only Dearborn, but it's like like Wayne, Oakland, Macomb,
yes.
Washtenaw. So we have members from all over Southeast Michigan. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, we have membership from the state of Michigan. We have some national members all over the United States and also international members from overseas.
You have a lot of numbers. So how do you facilitate the growth of Arab American business community?
We do kind of get spread a little bit thin as far as to focusing, because our membership also, what makes it challenging for us mm-hmm. is that they don't all come from the same industry.
Right, right.
So we might have doctors, we might have the lawyers, we might
right.
have the professionals, but then at the same time we have some manufacturers, we have some large corporations, and then we've got the small business that owns the restaurant on the corner, in addition to the person that has a company with 500 employees.
But not on just a local level, you do like national and right. on international level.
Right. So
yeah.
We've also worked with, one of the projects that we've done in the past years is we worked with 40 mm-hmm. Arab American manufacturers from across the United States. Mm-hmm. And this one under the Obama administration, we were working to increase the number of exports from the United States all over the world.
Yeah.
So we took these 40 CEOs and we had approximately 7 meetings at the White House to where they were introduced to different departments and to different things. And from that, they were able to expand the markets to where they sold their products. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the Obama administration had kept tabs on them for a few years to see the rate of the exporting and how it went, and were they successful in these different markets, and the majority of them were.
Yeah.
It opened new opportunities for them, and they increased the number of sales.
That's great. How do you describe your leadership style now?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that's something that we should ask someone else of how would they describe my leadership style. I, you know, the advice that I always give to young women that I mentor is that they need to be very confident, believe in themselves,
Yeah.
but always be fair. You know, be fair, be truthful, and be straightforward with people.
Yeah, but how do you describe it from when you started with the organization
To now?
to now? Yes. How did you develop that? Yeah.
I think each person has to find their own space to where they develop and how, you know, you kind of mature into roles as time progresses and time goes on. I would say I'm totally a different person than when I first started. But all of us have these strong roots that we have to believe in ourselves, and we have to figure out what our strengths are
Sure.
and what our weaknesses. I think it's very important to know what your weaknesses are, just as it is as important to know what your strengths are, so that you can work on those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody has weaknesses. It's nothing we need to be ashamed of. But
Yeah.
how do you combat that? How do you deal with your weaknesses so that they become strengths?
Right. Yeah.
And you continue to be able to lead and to move forward and to do
Absolutely.
things.
Absolutely. What are the steps that you have taken in order for this organization to grow?
You constantly have to be redefining yourself, which means you also have to evaluate. I think that we have to look at what value do we bring to our membership. If you want to
Right.
become a member of the chamber, what value is that to you? It's constantly having to educate our community on the importance of having a united voice that
Right.
speaks on their behalf and lobbies for them, whether it's with local government, state, or national. We have lots of issues that impact business people in our community.
Right.
And so having a unified voice that speaks on their behalf is really very, very important. I think we should not wait till something happens. I think we should be more proactive and see what's coming down the line and be ready and try to combat it before.
Yeah. Yeah. But how has it, like, your organization evolved throughout the years?
We've evolved by constantly looking and seeing how the community, the business community, has evolved. And as the business community evolved, we've adjusted ourselves to evolve with it. We've
Right.
changed our programming to meet the needs of what the needs are currently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as the community has evolved, I mean, I remember back in the 80s growing up in Dearborn, Warren Avenue was dead. There was no businesses on Warren Avenue,
Yeah.
right? And then slowly the Lebanese community started moving in, and then you've seen more and more businesses open up. You've seen more homes being bought by the Lebanese.
And now we have a huge
now you have
community.
it's the most thriving downtown district in the city of Dearborn.
Right.
You know, and we owe that to our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who have brought it and who have made it what it is today.
But did
But
you?
now you see more of the Lebanese are starting to move to West Dearborn, Dearborn Heights, Garden City, Canton. So as they kind of move and become more scattered and move and expand, you see now more of the Yemeni community coming in. You see more of the Iraqi community. So as the American Arab Chamber of Commerce, we also work with the Yemeni community, the Iraqi community.
Not just the
Syrians,
Lebanese. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah.
we work with all the different communities, and we kind of keep a track, and we see how everything is evolving and what is
Right.
happening, and how can we assist and help and make sure that we continue to grow.
Sure. Did you ever think, though, your organization will grow that much?
Well, you always set goals for yourself.
Right, yeah.
If you don't have any goals and if you don't have a vision of where you're going, it's very difficult to go.
Right. Yeah.
To travel down that road. So we have a great board of directors that I work with, and we do a great job of setting goals and kind of looking and seeing where should we be, you know, what direction are we going, and then, you know, making sure
teamwork.
that we, of course, and then
It's a
making sure
teamwork.
that we grow.
Yeah, yeah. I want to ask you about if you can give tips to women who are trying to start up a business organization. What would you say to them? What are the tips?
Make sure that they understand all the resources that are out here and available to them. A lot of times we tend to start a business not being aware of the resources that are available, and we kind of tend to do everything on our own. I think it's important to know if there are any grants out there, who's giving the loans, who can help with business plans. You know, you know, there are people that can help with market
Sure.
analysis and so forth.
Yeah.
So understanding the different resources that are available and not being afraid to ask for help, I think is really crucial.
So it's good to research and
Of
to
course.
do your
Research,
homework.
call,
Yeah,
ask,
and
do your
I think we
homework.
have a lot of resources nowadays than
Exactly.
before, a lot
Yep.
much more. And you know, the road to success is riddled with obstacles. And how did you manage to excel at mitigating your role as a leader, as a female leader, in an area where you know it's male dominates businesses?
Yeah, a lot of times I find myself being the only female in the room.
Okay, how do you feel about
And
that?
you kind of learn to, you know, with time you learn to just accept it and go with it. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I think that even at a young age, I had a father that instilled a lot of self-confidence in me. And I've never viewed myself as just a female or a male. I have always viewed myself, this is my role, this is
Yes.
what I'm here to do. So if you think of it in that perspective and don't put so much focus on, I'm a female and they're males,
Right.
then you tend to accomplish more.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you tend to accomplish a lot more.
So do you feel like a woman has it easier nowadays than when you became an executive director, where you maybe felt that you had to work harder, to become an executive director
Right.
than, let's say, of a man of an equivalent size of an organization?
I think the challenges are still there.
They are.
I think the challenges were there then. I think there are challenges that still exist now.
Yeah.
I think there's more acceptance of women having more roles. There are more women in leadership positions now, but we're still not equal to the number of men that are in leadership positions. So we still have some ways
we
to
still
go.
have some ways to go.
But I think it has increased. It's become more acceptance, and I think women have proven themselves that they are very capable and just as capable as men in performing and in doing, you know,
Right.
the leadership skills.
I mean, we know a lot of, a lot of things have been done for women, by women, but we are still lacking a lot of things, right? Don't you agree?
We're still lacking a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, we still
Right.
need more, maybe support.
We're going to have this conversation, Hanan. Is it that we're lacking things, or is it how we're going to view it?
Yes.
So again, for me,
Yeah.
it's
You had to pause for for a minute.
well, yeah, because to me, like if you asked me, did you ever fail in life?
Okay.
And I'm going to turn around and say,
I was going to ask you about that in a bit.
and the answer would be no.
Okay.
There are things that I did not succeed at, but I learned so much
Of course, yeah.
going through that
Yeah.
failing. I learned so
Yeah.
much in not succeeding that helped me to succeed the next time.
Yeah.
And I got better the third time and the fourth
Sure,
time.
sure.
So in everything that we do, there is no failing.
There is no I agree with you,
There
100%.
is no failing at
There is.
all.
It's a learning experience, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So we learn from all these experiences that we go through. It's up to us what we choose to do with them.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
whether I want to fall and I want to stay down there,
Right.
or am I going to pick myself up and I said, oh, I shouldn't have stepped that way. Let me step this way and see how far
Right,
I can
right.
go this way now. You know, and if you just have that mentality, I think it helps you in moving
Sure.
further.
Sure, sure. I agree.
And it also helps you in dealing with the men because they wonder, why didn't you stay down?
Right.
You know?
Well, the path to success is always, it's not easy, you know. And give us some tips about how the rules of success, like how to maintain success.
One of the things that I would say is surround yourself with positive people.
Yeah.
I have to say I've been very blessed. I've had a really good mentor and a chairman, and Mr. Ahmed Shabani,
Yeah.
who
yeah.
believed in me from very early on. I was one of the very first female leaders in our community, and I have to give him credit for opening that door and allowing me to
Yeah.
take those positions and to take those roles and to provide me with what I needed in order to get my job done and to go out there and be successful at it.
Okay. Okay.
You have to have good mentors. You also have to surround yourself with positive people.
Right.
Surround yourself with people where you envision yourself being.
Yes.
You want to be successful? and go hang out with successful people. You know, you're not going to be successful sitting on the porch.
Sure, sure.
So wherever you envision yourself, that's where you have to place yourself.
Right. Madeleine Albright, the former and the first female Secretary of State, said that there is a special place in hell for women that don't help each other. Your thoughts about that?
I've met her. She's a wonderful woman.
You've met her?
Yes, she's a wonderful woman.
Okay.
And, she's a great conversationist. She's a very interesting human being. I would have to agree with that.
Okay.
So, I'm very passionate about helping other women, especially our younger generation.
Right.
That is starting their careers, or trying to move up the ladder, that might be in high school and undecided of what to do. But I'm more passionate about the women that are trying to move up the ladder and trying to succeed in corporate America, or succeed in becoming a judge, or becoming a lawyer, or whatever it is that they're trying to do. And I will go out of my way, and it's like every year I'll choose 2 women that I mentor throughout the year, and helping to guide them.
Well, we mentioned that you mentor professional Arab American women for the last 20 years. I mean, that's I was going to ask you about that.
And it's been an honor to watch these women grow.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gives me goosebumps, and it just it opens your heart.
Right.
To see women from our community and everything that they've accomplished and everything they've achieved and everything that they've done. We have some remarkable women in our community. We have women that are going to Ivy League schools. We have women that are becoming, judges and federal judges. We've got all kinds of women that are succeeding.
So many successful
different
women.
areas that it just makes you so proud.
Yeah.
Makes you very, very proud. And it's not that men are not our obstacles. And there are a lot out here that value women and also do a lot to help us to get further and so forth.
Yeah.
But we do live in a world, in a society that has been dominated by men.
For a long time.
For a very long time. And I think that gradually it's changing. Gradually we are making headway.
Slowly, gradually,
but surely. We haven't stopped, and we are moving.
Yeah. I'm sure these women that you've been mentoring have learned so much from you. What did you learn from them?
Oh, I constantly learn from them.
I like that.
I constantly learn from them. I learned to continue to stay young and have that young and be.
So they give you the energy, right?
Exactly. Yeah. They help me in maintaining my youthful vision.
Right.
Of there is nothing that I can't accomplish.
Yeah.
I don't look at myself and say, I'm this age, that's it, I shouldn't be doing this, or I shouldn't set this as a goal for myself.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit. I think that
Absolutely.
we can do anything we want at any time that we want.
Yeah, and how important it is to mentor. How is it?
I think it's very important to mentor. It is so rewarding to give back. Once you sit down and mentoring, mentoring might mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But, to me, it could be as simple as spending an hour on the phone for someone, taking them to dinner every couple of weeks, sitting down, listening to them. Where are they? What challenges do they see themselves that they're having? How can they overcome those obstacles?
Yeah.
Who should they be talking to? What direction should they be heading? Do they need to kind of totally shift?
And it makes you feel good that you're helping other people.
All you can do is advise them.
Yeah.
All you can do is give them their opinion. They have to make the final decisions. They have to make the final choices. They have to learn that it's their life.
Yeah.
That the decisions they make impact them. Nobody can make them for them. They have to make them.
Yeah.
But
they have to work
make
hard.
Decisions and they work hard. And you see them grow, when you see them succeed, then it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's very fulfilling, because that's how we grow as a community. That's how we grow as the Arab American community in Michigan. If we do not support each other and work together and learn how to praise each other and learn how to, it's okay if we have 100 lawyers.
Yeah.
It's okay if we have, 10 fruit markets on the same sheet. We're in America.
Why not? The more the merrier, right?
Yes. So this is democracy. We can have all this, and the person that's providing the best value, the best price, is the one that's going to succeed.
Yes.
you know?
That's great. You know, on Hiya show, we'd like to help women as much as we can, and as we go along, we're going to try to do a lot of things, you know, along the line.
And I commend you on that.
Yes, we're going to talk about that. And can you tell us what kind of programs, like women programs, that you provide or you're working on through the chamber or other things, you know?
American Arab Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
we're not a woman-based chamber, right? So our membership has men, has women. It's
Yes,
mixed. It's
yes.
got Arabs, non-Arabs.
Sure.
It's very diverse,
Right.
right? But all these people come together, and the one thing that brings us all together is business.
Yes.
You know, even if you're a doctor, you're still running a business. If you're a lawyer, you're still running a business. So business is what brings all of us together. And like I said, for me, women kind of, tend to hold a special place in my heart. So we are going to be starting a program in January for women. It's not a very formal program, but what we're doing is women kind of come together to sit down and talk. What challenges do they have? Sometimes it's just about, if you're a woman, it's just about how do I balance
Yes.
my life at home, having kids, and having a successful career.
Is it like a workshop or what is it exactly?
It's going to be to where we meet once a month.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not a one-time thing and you're done, because to me that doesn't. You need to have some continuity.
But how can women attend these things?
Just call
these
the chamber and say that they're interested.
And anybody can just participate
Yes.
On a
Yep.
monthly basis. So
Yes.
starting from
Yep.
January
Yep.
2020. That's awesome. And before we go, before we take a break, I'd like to mention that Fay Baydoun is graciously volunteering half a day of her time, lunch with one of our female viewers, lunch/mentoring. So if anybody's interested in doing that and have some time with Fay, just email us. Is HeyaMentor, HeyaMentor @gmail.com. And when we are back, we're going to talk with Fay Baydoun about her background, about the culture, and what it means to be Arab American.
Michigan's best contemporary is at Telegraph and 12 Mile, and now at Gorman Southfield, save up to 50% off. That's limited time savings of up to 50% off all contemporary at Gorman Southfield. Telegraph and 12 Mile.
The One. We are business consultants who equip leaders to lead at their highest level while building teams that work together and support their team and the leadership. We deliver customized business solutions that fit your company's needs, including business development and customized process solutions. Contact us today. Thank you.
Welcome back. We come to this country hoping for a better life and better future, and we carry with us a luggage full of culture and ethics and the love of our native country. You were born in Lebanon.
Yep.
And raised in the United States. Okay, take us back.
I came to the United States with my parents at the age of 6.
Okay, you were very young.
I was very young. Went to school. My real name is Wafa.
Oh, okay. Fay
So when I
Wafa.
went to
Okay.
school, I was in first grade, and all the kids couldn't pronounce Wafa. So Wafa became Waffles.
Waffles.
Yeah, so I became Waffles.
Okay, I didn't know that. You didn't
Yeah,
tell me.
and from Waffles, I would go home and cry.
Oh, God.
And after 3 months of going home and crying from being called Waffles and teased, one of my cousins came running over to our house and said, "We have a new name for you. You're going to be Fay."
Yeah.
So I went to school and asked the teacher if she would start calling me Fay, and I became Fay. And
You became
ever since,
Fay
it's just
from
stuck.
that time.
Yep.
Okay, well, Fay and
Fay
waffle is not bad.
No,
That's-
no, they both have the same meaning.
Okay.
But so Wafa and Fay comes from the word faith, so they both mean faithful. So
Okay,
it
that's a
worked
nice
out
name.
fine.
Sure,
It is.
sure.
It is. So, when we first moved here back in the early 70s, there was not that many Arab Americans in this area. Gradually it kind of grew, but back then on Sundays you went and visited all the Arabs that were here.
Yeah.
So everybody visited everybody. It was a smaller community. And gradually I've been fortunate enough to be involved in it as we've watched it grow and become what it is today.
Yes.
Southeast Michigan has the largest concentration of Arab Americans.
And it is the hub of the Arab Americans.
It is the hub because
it is the hub.
It's the hub because all your major organizations are here.
Right.
We're very well organized as a community. And in order for you to have a strong community, we have to have the strong pillars to where we have to have a strong religious organizations.
Yes.
We have to have strong social service organizations, business organizations, and civil rights organizations.
Right.
So once you have these strong pillars that exist within a community, then at that point in time, the community will be able to grow.
Yeah. So does your background help with your success somehow?
I think my background is like very, very diverse, and I've been blessed to where I've done a lot of different things. I've been involved in politics. I've worked on campaigns. We did the U.S. Arab Economic Forums to where we, did a lot of international stuff. Had the honor of meeting with royalty and ministers and presidents and people from all over. So it's been a very diverse and interesting background. I work with universities, I work with government institutions, with the medical, with hospitals and so forth. So it's very diverse, and I think it's very, that kind of helps to give me my strength as to everything that I bring to the table when I come to a meeting or to work on a project.
Sure. And how do you think like Arab American women or Lebanese Arab American women, right, manage to maintain their identities as Lebanese and integrate it into the American society?
I think as Lebanese women we're fortunate because I think Lebanese men have more open mind to Lebanese women being more active in the workforce than some of the other countries in the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we have to our advantage. I think Lebanese women are very strong women.
Very strong.
Yes. Yes.
Very smart, strong.
We're smart, we're intelligent, we're strong. Some men might say that Lebanese women are very beautiful too.
Yes. Of course.
But we're not going to argue with that one.
We're not going to argue with that.
No. But I think that our backgrounds, and depending on the culture which we grew up in, is what's going to help each one of us individually in being able to succeed in how we kind of see ourselves and where do we see ourselves growing.
Yeah. I want to ask you about giving back to the community, and I like this part. I like this question. I'm sure it contributes to our own success. When you give back to the community, and your services to the community is extensive and far-reaching. Tell me more about that. Tell me how it feels to give back to the community.
You give back to the community. Number one, you feel that self-satisfaction that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But the other thing that you're doing is you're setting an example. You're allowing your kids and their kids, and you're allowing your neighbors and everyone else, you're setting an example for them to see, well, that's what I should be doing.
Yeah.
So when we all have this mentality of not only do we take, everybody, I'm not saying forget yourself.
Right.
Everybody has to look out for themselves because nobody else is going to look out for you. Right. So you look out for yourself first, but you have to find that balance to where you also have to give. And you have to remember there is a bigger picture to everything, right?
Sure.
So it's not always just about me or just about you, but there's also times to where we have to take stands to where it's about the community.
Yes.
What's best for the community and not just for me. And because sometimes what's best for the community, it's what's going to impact your kids' life too.
Right.
And what's going to impact the future generations.
Absolutely.
So you do need to learn to have more of an open mind and think more broadly sometimes.
Yeah. I think our community is great, and we all try to give back somehow, So I think it's great, and we have come a long way as being a minority. What else do we need?
We need to learn from other minorities. We need to learn that it's okay to disagree. We don't always have to agree among ourselves, and it's healthy for us to disagree with each other and not to always be on the
Yes,
same
of
age,
course,
you know.
of course. Life
But
is challenging.
At the same time, when we go to the outside, we need to learn to be united and to show up more united from, so that as a community we can continue to grow.
And to accept each other.
And to have a stronger influence. We are no different than the other minorities. I'm also the executive co-chair of the Council of Ethnic Chambers of Commerce, to where we have 13 different ethnicities that are also with us. And these different ethnicities all face the same challenges that we face as Arab Americans in the United States.
Right.
You have the Hispanic communities, the Jewish communities, the Chinese, the Asians. So there's a large number that also face a lot of the same challenges. We should work with them, learn from them.
Be open and learn.
Be open and learn. How did they overcome their challenges as communities?
Yeah.
And what can we do? And continue to move forward.
That's
One of the things that I'm planning for the Chamber next year is to have a lot of our women meet with other women from other ethnicities that are CEOs of their major corporations and that have become very successful, and to hear their stories.
Yeah.
So it's not always just about us talking to each other as Lebanese or as Arab Americans, it's also talking about with others outside.
What a great idea. It's a
Exactly.
great idea. Fay Baydoun, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to continue to growing strong and having an influence to be able to continue to help move our community forward.
Right.
I would love to see more Arab American appointments at the state level and at the federal level, and I would love to continue to increase the business between our region and the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's
Thank
ambitious. And one more thing before we finish our conversation tonight, the last step to empower women and inspire women from you.
Last words to
Last
empower
word,
women.
yeah,
and
yeah. Last
inspire
advice.
women. My last advice. Don't be afraid. Be yourself.
Yes.
Be confident. Dream big. And go for it.
Yeah.
If you fall, pick yourself right back up and keep going. You know, don't let anybody tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. Just pick yourself up and keep going.
And failure is a learning experience. It's
Yes,
not a
it is.
failure.
No, so there is no failure.
There's no failure.
What a great advice from you, Fay Baydoun, the Executive
Thank you.
Director of American Arab Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being here tonight and to support women and advise women and inspire women. Thank you very much for our viewers for watching here. And we'll be back next week, next Wednesday. And
Thank
have a
you.
good night.